Welcome and thanks for joining the Richland School District as we focus on learning. I'm Meredith Boggs. There's lots of new changes headed to the Richland School District thanks to voters approving a $98 million bond in early 2013, and there's lots of new updates to tell you about. I'm here with Richland School District's new superintendent. Thanks for joining us, Rick Schulte. The bond is set to fund 9 construction projects within the district, including rebuilding 3 existing elementary schools. So what's the latest on those 3?
We've been very active. We have an aggressive campaign here to get those 3 schools designed and built as quickly as we can. Our design is about 50% complete for those 3 schools. We're using a single design for the 3, and so we're making very good progress on that.
Now tell me a little bit about that new design and how that design is expected to save the district money.
By having a single design, we only need 1 architect and 1 design that we don't have to repeat it 3 different times. We have to do a little bit of adjustment for the different sites, but basically the school will be fundamentally exactly the same for each of the 3 places, so we don't have to spend a design each time.
So right now we're taking a look at the design that's going to be Sacagawea, Lewis and Clark, and Marcus Whitman.
Yeah, this is an artist's rendering of the school, and you'll see it's a 2-story school with a metal roof. The 2 stories mean that we have less roof space, so less to worry about in terms of roof failure and that sort of a thing. The heating system will be underneath the roof, so it'll be protected from the environment. You can see the windows that are designed to help with bringing outdoor light into the classrooms. A lot of different features like that.
Now we have a look inside the classroom.
That's great. I'd love to look at that.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Well, in the bottom picture there, you can see the windows, which bring in light, kind of a clear story window up high, which brings in light it'll be reflected light so that it's not in students' eyes and that type of a thing. But we'll be able to use daylight, natural daylight, to reduce the amount of energy we have to use for lighting in the classrooms. You'll also see that the technology will be evident there. There will be smart boards, projectors mounted in there that will be displayed right on the whiteboards in front of the classroom. Rooms will be large. They'll be about 900 square feet, able to handle both small groups and large group in the same classroom.
Now, plus there's going to be a 4th elementary school being built in South Richland. Now, how far along are the plans on that project?
You know, this school is just a little behind the other schools. The design is somewhat different because the site is different, so we had to do a different kind of a design. The classrooms will be the same. The gym and the cafeteria will be the same, but this will be a 1-story building instead of a 2-story building. This one's about 40% along in terms of its design, and it'll go out to bid probably about a month after the others.
Now, why is this one different than the other 3, the design?
The land that it's located on is very constricted, so we had to do something to fit it into the land in a way that allows us to maximize use of the space for playgrounds, parking, parent pickup and drop off, bus pickup and drop off, and that type of thing.
And what are some of the new features, besides the one that you discussed, that parents would want to know regarding safety?
We're going to have
all of the schools are going to have.
We'll have cameras that give us a good idea of who's going to be there. We'll have automatically locking doors that will be controlling access during the day and before and after school as well. We'll have a double entry at the main entrance, so we can lock it down instantly and easily when we need to do something of that nature.
Now, how will students transition from the old schools to the new schools?
In case of the 3 schools that are replacing them, the students will stay in their existing school until the new school is completed, and then over the summer we'll be making the move into the new school. So students will finish 1 school year in the old school and start the next school year in the new school.
Now, one thing I find that's really nice about all this is that aside from all the building, it is for the kids.
Absolutely.
You know, they're going to have some state-of-the-art classrooms and technology in there as well as safety.
They'll have better safety, they'll have better technology, they'll have larger classroom spaces by about 100 square feet in each particular classroom. They'll have hallways, they'll have all the modern features that students today demand and expect.
Now, but Marcus Whitman Elementary will be a little different. Now, why is that?
It seems that the best location for the new school at Marcus Whitman is where the current school is. So we're going to have to transition the Marcus Whitman students to a temporary housing while we tear down the old Marcus Whitman to allow us to build the new school in the same site, same location.
So Marcus Whitman students will be for 1 year going to which school?
We're expecting them to spend 1 year at the old Sacagawea Elementary after the Sacagawea students move to their new school.
And then they'll transition over into the
Back
brand
into
new
the
one.
new Marcus Whitman. That's right.
Yeah, because one thing that it was mentioning is that it's important to do that because the other 3 schools have that property to build on, to rebuild. However, Marcus Whitman unfortunately doesn't have the land to build on it, which is why they're having to completely tear down the building and move on. Now, aside from these new schools, another bond project will also be the one that's first to be completed will be at Chief Joseph Middle School. Now, what work is underway there?
That's right. The heating and ventilating system will be replaced, and that design is completely completed. They have put that out to bid. We'll be opening the bids later this month. They'll be awarding the bids, and actually work on that will probably begin this winter.
So everything will be nice and cool and warm in there once things get going, right?
It'll be fully operational before school starts next fall.
Good. Now, plans for the Fran Risch Stadium look to be on hold. Where is the district on the safety upgrade plans?
The problem that we found at Fran Risch is that the seismic upgrades for the visitors' bleachers the bleachers are built on old river bed, and so they're silty, sandy, and in the case of a large earthquake, that liquefies and causes the possibility of the bleachers sliding down. So the fix to that, the initial fix that we saw is a little bit more expensive than we want to engage in, so we're getting a second opinion as to how dangerous is it really, and what is the most cost-effective manner in order to account for that.
Now, back to the new schools, with the new schools being built, and especially the one in South Richland, how will the district go about the boundary changes?
We'll have the boundary changes. There will be a committee that includes a number of district administrators and transportation people to find out what the best option is. We'll look at several different options for how we divide up the different schools, and it'll be both elementary and middle schools that will have their boundaries changed. So several schools are very overcrowded right now, so those schools will share the new school, and some of the schools will. It'll be a cascading effect. It will probably affect all the elementaries.
Wow. Another few bond updates. Now, the replacement of the 1953 wing at Jefferson Elementary School. So what's going on with that replacement?
We have a plan for that. We're going to be selecting an architect for the design right after Christmas vacation. And once the architect is selected, we'll be going full speed ahead with the design. The intention will be to put that out to bid about a year from now, and reopening that in almost 2 years from now.
You know, it really is incredible all the work that the Richland School District has ahead. It's nice to know that the kids are going to have these places to go to. Now, regarding HomeLink, the design work on that is expected to begin in 2014, is that correct?
Actually, we'll be following pretty much the same timeline as we are for Jefferson. Probably the same design team will work on both HomeLink and Jefferson. So when we select the architect and the rest of the design team right after Christmas this year, they'll work on both HomeLink and Jefferson.
And the new middle school, that's expected to begin sometime maybe in the fall of 2015? Is that kind of still on track? What's the
Well, again,
latest on
that's another area that we will be selecting an architect and design team for that, probably this spring. And the design, because that'll be a much larger school, the design will probably take about a year and a half, and the construction will take about a year and a half. So actually occupying the new school will be about 3 years from now.
Now, is there any thoughts or ideas of where this new middle school will be built?
You know, we told the voters as part of the bond election it would be either in South or West Richland, and so the school board is looking at a number of different possible sites right now, but we haven't selected any one of those sites yet.
Now, as far as all the bond updates and the changes of what are parents going to what are parents going to expect from the school district in the sense of how the work is going to be done and how they'll be notified of the changes?
You know, we will be communicating, first of all, through the schools. So parents tend to spend more time and pay more attention to newsletters they get from their child's school. So
Right.
that'll be a primary means of communication. We also do all the electronic methods of communication that people are used to today. So we have Facebook, we have email, we have
Right.
district publications of one kind or another. So there'll be a lot of ways for parents to find out.
Also, the schools are going to include more arts for students to participate in, as well as full-day kindergarten. So tell me a little bit about those too.
Well, we will have full-size art rooms designed specifically for art rooms with storage associated with them and kiln rooms right beside them so that we can fire pottery and that type of a thing.
Now that's really something for
It
an
is.
elementary school.
Yes, and we'll be able to handle all the pottery that they can produce.
Wow.
And there will be enough storage and places for students to have space to do the artwork that they need to do in those classrooms.
That's pretty neat to know that parents will actually, you know, their kids are getting hands-on experience with arts and crafts.
And art is one of those things that many school districts today don't have full-time art specialists at the elementary school. So Richland is very proud of the fact that we will continue to have those art programs. And we're building schools to house that kind of a strong program.
That's incredible. Well, at the full-day kindergarten, you're also designing it for
We
schools
are,
for full day?
and the state is moving towards full-day kindergarten in all schools. We have full-day kindergarten at Jefferson Elementary this year for the first time. We expect that to be phased in through 2018, so we're building more classrooms. We'll need probably an extra 20 classrooms in order to house full-day kindergarten instead of the half-day kindergarten that we're used to.
Wow, okay. Well, thank you so much, though, for all the bond updates. I know you at home probably are happy to kind of get the update to know now the progress of where your vote is now at. So I appreciate your time. Rick Schulte, thank you so much. Well, we'll be right back with our focus on STEM education and what the district is doing to bring that curriculum into the classroom.